KILR Killer Game.
Hello, gamers, simmers, and pilots. I am the Killer Gamer, and welcome back to the tour around the world featuring Fly by Terminal Reality. Because that's what you do on a flight simulator. You fly. You don't really drive. You could, but most likely you want to get a simulator like this so you can just fly. Although with Flight Simulator 2020 coming out, you might be able to drive with that one. Because of the detail of the scenery, so might be kind of an interesting thing. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about our flight as far as where we're at, other than runway 20, and where we're going. Okay, so here is our SubLogic map, which we use because we're trying to match some of the very early flights from Flight Simulator 2, 3, and 4, because we know in the later simulators we'll be able to visit those airports, but maybe not the other way around. That's a whole nother story. But we're here at Bloomington-Normal, which is also called the Central Illinois Airport. We'll just call it Bloomington-Normal. And we are flying over here to University of Illinois-Willard, Champaign, Illinois, which is the bottom of the default area of the original flight simulators. Not a fly, but it is for this. But that is where we are headed. And we'll go ahead and get everything turned on here. Watch the bouncing arrows. Look at this. Look at that. Then look at the outside again. We're going through all the little steps of starting the plane. And gotta love this. That's something about flies. You can sit here and you can do this. That's kind of cool. Let's see. Enter. We're at KBMI. I'm not sure how to move that to the next one. We'll have time to figure that out, I think. And you can double click on the actual airport and pull up all your frequencies and everything, which is very convenient. So let's see, this gives you the ILS information, which is helpful. We'll go ahead and tune into ATIS.
KBMI arrival information, Kilo 1030, Zulu, automated weather observation, wind calm. Visibility 10 miles. Few clouds at 5,000 feet. Scattered clouds at 10,000 feet. Overcast clouds at 20,000 feet. Temperature is 70 degrees. Dew point is 50 degrees. Altimeter is 29.92. Notice to airmen. Departures, contact clearance, delivery 124.6.
1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Information, Kilo BMI.
Tune in the ground here. Request taxi to runway. Well, we're already there. Maybe not the runway they want us to take off from, but let's see.
KBMI ground. 1720 Echo, ready to
He doesn't want to talk to us. All right, fine.
2, Sierra, Echo, Roger, contact tower at 124.602.
2. Let's see. Request takeoff clearance. All right.
KBMI tower. 172 Sierra, Echo, request takeoff clearance. Cessna 172 Sierra, Echo, KBMI tower, cleared for takeoff.
No, I guess they're happy with where we're at. I guess that works.
2 Sierra, Echo, Roger, cleared for takeoff.
So the runway we're at is the one that they want us to take off from, so that works. Let's clear that out. Alright. Brakes off. Takeoff flaps down. And full throttle. It's a bit of an optical illusion. It looks like this runway is floating up in the sky because of the texture. And by the way, we can look around the plane, as you can see. Whoa, that's trippy. I think we were drinking something before we got up in the air. Look at that. Ugh. Well, they're not going to tell us to go to departure, apparently. Let's click on it. And we'll switch to departure. Ah. Alright, 018.
2 Sierra, Echo, Roger, turn right at 018.
When the graphics aren't sliding around, the city looks kind of cool. Now, over on PC Emulator, it does not do this because it's emulating a real PC, so the graphics are much better. But on VMware, it has a default graphics driver, so that's why it tends to slip around like that. Now, I also have the sequel to Fly. I have Fly 2. That one does not have Jeff Goldblum in it. And it doesn't have much scenery in it, as a matter of fact. Fly 2 from Terminal Reality reminds me of the old X-Plane, as a matter of fact. where you had the runways and you had the little sticks with little lights, blinking lights and stuff on it, and maybe a building here or there. I'm hoping that will change, though, because I don't have a box copy of Fly 2. I just have like a jewel case with one disc in it. But I just ordered a box copy, and it has 2 CD-ROMs. One of them says Scenery Disc, where the one that I've got has only got 1 CD-ROM. So I'm hoping that that extra scenery disc will actually add a whole bunch of scenery to it. Because, see, the first Fly actually has, well, this 2K edition has 4 discs. The first one is the program, and then disc number 2 is the actual scenery. You can see that right there. And then disc 3 is maps and sectional charts. And then disc 4, which I think only comes with the 2K edition, maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure, is this has got the airliners, which I don't think I have installed on here. I did install it recently, though, over on PC Emulator. Just haven't tried them yet. And I have a slew of other types of add-ons and everything that I will be doing flights with. I'll be testing things out on Twitch as I'm making videos. So one of the things that I was testing out a few days ago was this, FSFX. I was testing this out on Flight Simulator 5.1. I was really hyped about using it, and it really does not do a whole lot, to be honest with you. I think it's more hype than anything else. This program I've done a lot of videos on. That I've used. It's really cool, but it's called Real ATC. This thing is heavy. And this can be used with Flight Simulator 5.1, 95, and Flight Simulator 98. And it adds Real ATC chatter to your flights. And if you use that in conjunction to ProFlight 98, you can have air traffic controlled flights with air traffic with ATC chatter going on. It is really, really cool. And not everything is always old here. Well, I mean, technically all this stuff is old, but yeah, that's not even Flight Simulator related there. So I recently got this for Flight Simulator 2002. It's Honolulu Falago, Lago, L-A-G-O. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. So I know I'll be doing a flight to, from, or something with Flight Simulator 2002 using this. So that's where the Twitch streams are also great. It gives me the opportunity to try a whole bunch of things that I've got before actually making videos of anything. I have done some flights with this, an actual PMDG plane for Flight Simulator 2004. It's the 737 Next Generation NG. And then also from Lago I have the MD-80 Mad Dog, which is also for Flight Simulator 2004. Which one do you have? Do you have the PMDG for the for 2004? Is that the one that you got? Yeah, the PMDG. Took me a little bit to get used to it. I still have to do a little bit more. I've got so many other things here too. Where did I put it? Check this out. It's version 2. I've got this. This is the Tandy version. Tandy 1000, 1200 HD, and Tandy 2000. I don't have a Tandy. But if I ever do get one, it will allow me to do some better quality videos than the one that I'm using with the Tandy emulator, because the graphics are all wonky. They don't look right. Now I don't have a box for Flight Simulator 1, but I do have the manual. So I have the first Microsoft Flight Simulator 1 manual. And it's funny, if you look at the Chicago map on this, I mean, we looked at the Flight Simulator 2 map before, but if you were to look at this one, if I show this on the camera here, you will see there is Meigs and Chicago O'Hare and Midway, but then if you look around, there's nothing, just Vors. There's Kankakee, but Bloomington, all that stuff is not there until where is it? There it is, Champaign. So it only had Flight Simulator 1 only had 5 airports in the Chicago area, and then there was like 5 airports in the New York area, 5 in the Seattle area, and I think maybe 6 in the Los Angeles area. And there's a few other things that I'm going to be checking out too. This is for Flight Simulator 2004. It's called Flying Club. So, yeah, I've got tons and tons of material that I can use to make videos. And I got some really old, rare stuff here that I came across from Papa Tango, and I think this is for Flight Simulator 5.1. There's this it actually comes in a binder. This is like brand new. It's called Flight Academy. So I don't know too much about it. I had just read and looked it up. And then here is another one that I bought that was brand new. And this is also from Papa Tango, and it's called Fly Louder. Fly Louder! This one is for Flight Simulator 98. Flight Academy, I think, is Flight... Oh, no, that's Flight Simulator 98 also. Okay. So both of those are Flight Simulator 98. And I think this is Papa Tango, too. Yeah, because this is got the real ATC thing on it. So, same company. This thing called Airfield. This is for Flight Simulator 98 also. So yeah, tons of stuff that I'll be able to make videos on. Well, I'll do streaming with it, just to kind of play around with it. I like how we're going in a totally different direction and the ATC's not telling us that. I don't know if there's a city called Pontiac in Illinois, but if so, then that's probably it right there. Yeah, exactly. I swear, sometimes I think those people in the ATC are jokers. They're getting a kick out of letting me fly in another direction or routing me around in circles. Oh, let's see if we can figure this thing out. Direct to KBMI. No, can we do something else here? Okay, so nearest airport vor NDB. How do we select that? That's what I want to know. Cursor. Hey, nearest. No message. Sally, nearest, almost, I keep wanting to say apartment. Nearest airport vor NDB, which one do you want? I don't know, I'd like to choose it, but it won't let me. Here, we got a bigger one. Maybe this will do something.
2, Sierra Echo, BMI, Archer, turn right heading 082.
Maybe it won't, I don't know.
2, Sierra Echo, Roger, turn right is 082.
So it's like, how do you select it? Oh, hey, I can click on it. Did you see that? I don't think you can normally do that. Let's see. That's the nearest airport. Well, that's not what I want. I'm still turning. Oh my, let's see. How about KCMI? My goodness, this is going to take a little bit. Nope, I can't click and hold. That would have been nice. Look at this. MI, and it's like one letter above each one, and I can't. Yeah, I can't go up. It only lets me go down. That figures. This is not a very user-friendly navigational tool. Now it says KCMI up here. Click, click, click. All right. Oh, I think it did say University of Illinois originally. Silly me, I wasn't even paying attention. I was getting University of Illinois confused with Central Illinois Airport, which is Bloomington. Too much Illinois. You can sort of see clouds here and there. They're kind of like smudges, but there is something there. So we've got 49.1 miles until we get to the University of Illinois. And when it came to Flight Simulator 2 and 3, did we stop there and turn around? Nope. We loaded up SubLogic Scenery Disc number 9 and we kept going. We flew to Peoria. And we'll be flying those, matching those same flights right here with Terminal Realities Fly. Also of note is I do have Sierra's Pro Pilot and Pro Pilot 99 and Pro Pilot USA, which is pretty much the original Pro Pilot patched up. But I do have all three of those simulators as well on the YouTube channel. And I am due up to get some more recorded of those, so expect to see some Pro Pilots showing up here on Twitch for some live streaming. And there's a bunch of other ones that you may have not heard of either. There is one from SubLogic called Flight. SubLogic Flight. Oh, it's way up there. And there's also SubLogic ATP, Airline Transport Pilot. I have that one also, although I don't have any videos out on that one yet. And I don't know if there would be any interest as far as X-Plane, I mean, I've got the X-Plane 5. I don't know how much interest there would be in seeing the same flights done with X-Plane 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Or if they'll look somewhat the same. With the Microsoft flight simulators, they all have this little style to them. And plus all the add-ons and stuff, I can really customize each simulator to have its own experience. So that way they're each unique. X-Plane, though, on the other hand, it's not like there's really anything I can get for these old ones, so they may look just a little better than the first one. So I don't know if there would be any interest in seeing those or not. But I want to take care of my viewers. You know, if my viewers would like to see some X-Plane 6, 7, and 8, and 9, because hardly anyone else is doing them, then yeah, I'll definitely look into that. Some of them I can get for really cheap, like X-Plane 9. I think I saw I could get it for like 10 or 15 bucks. And I would try to get the World Edition if I can, so that way it's got, you know, all the scenery. And there may be some interest in those, because I know there are X-Plane fanatics out there that may be interested to see how X-Plane developed over the years. So it's a thought. It's just, you know, it's just more stuff that I got to record. And if anything, I'll probably do like the first flight, which is Meg's to Chicago O'Hare, and see how many people actually watch, and if it turns out to be pretty popular, then I can keep going with it. Like, I did the first flight with the Atari ST. So I did the Meg's to Chicago O'Hare with the Atari ST, SubLogic Flight Simulator II, which looks a lot like the Amiga version. The sound is just a little different. But I did just that one, just so I can kind of get a feel if anyone else is actually interested in that. And that one is not going to follow the same flight plan as all the others, because I can't find really scenery discs for the Atari ST version. So I think for that one I'm just going to stick to the main default areas and do kind of like a Chicago tour. So it'll go around to each of the airports, and maybe we'll throw in some random chance and encounters or things with it. Something that'll make the Atari version completely different and unique from all the other ones. Yeah, I can see the X-Plane 9 being a fun thing to play on a laptop. For me, that would be FS9. When FS9 came out, my goodness, I fell in love with that. That was everything that I've wanted in a sim. It was like the moment I was waiting for. And I never played 2002 until I started doing the World Tour series. And 2002 is like 2004, actually. If anything, it seems like 2004 was the major release that they were going for, and 2002 was kind of like, well, this is what we have so far. That's what 2002 kind of looks like to me. But I've got see, I don't use just the default scenery on everything. I try to do something different with each of them. So Flight Simulator 2002 uses F-Scene, the F-Scene scenery. So F-Scene 1, 2, and 3. 2004, I've got the F-Scene 4X, which is a better quality version. And then, of course, I've got Orbix with FSX, Steam Edition, as well as P3D. And then I've also got Mega Scenery that I will switch back and forth from on FSX and P3D. I have been curious about ground environment. I think that's from like Just One or Just Flight or Flight One or Just Flight. There's like ground environment and something else. And I was thinking about using that on one of the other simulators, like maybe the FSX Boxed Edition. Maybe doing some comparison videos with that to kind of show, oh, here it is with ground environment versus Orbix versus Mega Scenery. I did do one comparison on my YouTube channel. I've got some videos that are just basically test videos, and I did one that did a test comparison of Mega Scenery and Orbix, and so I did the same flight, or it was a landing, and I kind of faded back and forth between them in the video. And although the Mega Scenery was more realistic looking, the actual scenery of that area was just washed out. It just did not look good. Some of the Mega Scenery looks great, and then some of it just looks ugly. It's too bad that the quality and consistency isn't all the way through the whole series. And it's really bad when you see the border of one state up to another state.
2, Sierra Echo KBMI departure, turn right heading 175.
175.
2, Sierra Echo, roger, turn right heading 175.
If it's over the ground, you can't notice it as much. But if you're crossing a river between one state and another, you can see the difference. It's like one side is a light blue and the other side is a dark blue, and it just looks awful. It would have been better had they masked out the water so that way it would use the default water. I mean, heck, kind of like when you're making ortho photos with X-Plane 11, mask out the water and stuff, but no, they didn't really do that, and so you got this really ugly border thing going on. It's awful. Yeah, FS9, no crashes. I cannot remember a time where FS9 actually crashed. That was a sim that just worked. It worked, and it worked well. I can max that thing out all the way. Looks great. Runs smooth. I managed to find a few bells and whistles to add to it. There was something I added called Flight Environment or something. I forget what it was called, but it adds some HDR lighting to FS9, and it just looks gorgeous. Looks really nice. You know, it's funny. I have more crash issues with the older simulators than I do the newer ones. Especially like Flight Simulator 1, 2, 3, and sometimes 4. Because when you go to land and you're trying to flare and it stalls, the simulator likes to think, oh, stall, okay, let me just go nose down. And then you wind up crashing. It's but on the later simulators, like X-Plane, for example, or P3D, I can do like the most wildest, craziest moves and not ram straight into the ground. This is not too bad. I was glad that I looked into playing around with the Fly and the Fly 2 and the Pro Pilot, because it's just neat to be able to see what they did in terms of mapping out the world and everything. We can scroll this like this. There we go. Now we can see a little bit more. I mean, this came out around Flight Simulator 2000, and this looks amazing compared to Flight Simulator 2000. These graphics are just wow, is what they are. But unfortunately, Flight Simulator 2000 has more detail. It may not look as smooth and sharp as this, but at least Flight Simulator 2000 will have the rivers and will have where they're supposed to be, and cities and buildings and all of that. Now we still got 30 miles to go before we get there. There's something glowing over here. That looks like that might be an airport. I think so. I think this is what we're seeing. 1C1 right over here, I think is 1C1. Paxton. This is really nice. I really like this. I mean, that's the thing about these other simulators, these third-party ones, if you want to call them that, is they add these different ideas to it that are pretty neat ideas. Like I like this. I think X-Plane actually does something similar. You can pull up a map, a moving map like this, and I think you can click on the airport and pull up all the frequencies and everything. Are we following our path? Our path appears to have disappeared again. Oh no, there it is. Why are we all the way over here? I think we're supposed to be over here. What's it doing? Once again, they got us going in weird directions. Request the vectors. Let's see what they say.
2 Sierra Echo, request vectors to next waypoint. 2 Sierra Echo, BMI departure. Turn right heading 187.
Alright, I'm at 187.
2 Sierra Echo, roger. Turn right heading 187.
Oh, and the X-Plane video that I was telling you about, the X-Plane 5, it premieres Thursday night. It has ATC also. It has a very, very early form of air traffic control, and it uses Microsoft Speech. So, and it comes on the disk, so I had to install that. And it's interesting from a classic perspective. And I do notice air traffic flying around. They just never land or take off. I see stuff in the air with blinking lights, but I never see them actually land or anything. It looks like we got 25.4 miles to go. I'm going to guess that this is Champaign, Illinois, right here. Wind? No, I don't have any wind set up. I'm sure somewhere down the line I will. Right now I'm just trying to get comfortable with what we have before I start adding wind and everything else. Yeah, that's better. That's taking us back on course. One feature I don't like about Fly when doing the flight planner, you select the departure time, It's in Zulu, or what, Universal Time, UT or Zulu Time or whatever. I'd rather it be local time, so that way I would know if it's daytime, nighttime, or whatnot. These are supposed to be night flights. So it starts off night, and then it starts getting brighter. These are all supposed to be night flights until we head to Peoria, which is the next stop after this one. Now see, I can change the clock here, or at least I can change the... So like it's 6:29 local time. I'm not sure what that... I think FT, I think that's our flight time actually. But here, 11:29, this is, I think, UT, I think that's Universal Time. There's an airport right there. I don't think that's Champaign, though. That can't be Champaign. Could it? I don't think it is. Maybe it's this one. Yeah. Looks like it's Rantol National Aviation Center, Illinois. We got some air traffic here coming our direction. Okay, so this is not Champaign. It's going to be over there. One 96. 16 miles. 16 miles to Champaign. I like how the cities look at night when they're lit up like that. Remember the first time that I installed the Orbix Global for FSX Steam, and I saw the lights at night. I was like, wow, that looks so cool. And then also X-Plane at night looked really cool too, X-Plane 11. X-Plane 11 is the actual first version of X-Plane that I bought. I had looked at it around version 9. I was like, nah, not quite what I'm looking for. Version 10 was getting close. But then after I started seeing videos done with X-Plane 11, I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and give it a chance. And X-Plane 11 looks good until it doesn't. Some of the autogen that pops up doesn't really pop up in the right spots, or there are roads that like you'll see a bunch of roads do this, you know, up and down, they, you know, and there's like no houses or buildings or anything. It just some of the way it generates, it just looks awfully weird. And yes, absolutely, I will be getting Flight Simulator 2020. And we will be doing the world tour on that as well. How am I going to do it from Megs? Since it no longer exists? I'm not sure. I will probably do a startup video where we're on the island and we'll just kind of bump and grind and try to fly off the island. And then if Orbix ever makes an airport, or someone makes an airport for Megs to bring it back, then we'll redo that flight. Yeah, you know, as far as the system, oh, we're getting close here. It's going to be, what is it? Is it supposed to be available for the Xbox One? The Xbox One X, or whatever it's called. So if it can run it on there, then I'm sure that will give us some type of an idea. All right. That's not what I want. I want the airports. Where are you, airport? Ah! That's not what I want. It's too close. I can't click on it. I'm trying to click on the airport. It's not letting me. That's okay. We'll end our own way if we have to. Oh, wait a minute. I can do it this way. I forgot about that. Where's the plane? Where's the plane? Champagne. There we go. Approach, departure. My goodness, pick one here.
KCMI approach. 172 Sierra Echo. Request approach for landing. Cessna 172 Sierra Echo. KCMI approach. Clear for the approach runway 32 left.
I don't want to turn all the way around. Oh man, this thing is...
Echo CMI approach. Did you copy?
Yes, I copied.
2 Sierra Echo, Roger. 1 Sierra Echo CMI approach.
Oh my. Well, the airport's not in that direction. Might want to go this direction. I see some blinking lights over there. I think that's our airport. Huh. That's pretty cool. I've tried to get into the beta. Maybe they just don't think my system's up to snuff. I don't have an i9. I'm sitting with an i5 and a GTX 760. I sent them those specs and they probably laughed at me. Yeah, right. But that's okay. As much as I like to get into alpha, it will come out. I've had my 760 for the longest time. And I do have an i7 machine. I have to rebuild it because the processor burned out. I got the processor.
Echo CMI approach. Contact tower at 120.40 today.
120.40.
2 Sierra Echo, Roger. Contact tower at 120.40. CMI tower. 172 Sierra Echo. Request approach for landing. Cessna 172 Sierra Echo. KLI tower. Clear for approach. Runway 32 left. Use left-hand pattern. 2 Sierra Echo. Roger. Clear for approach. Runway 32 left. Use left-hand pattern.
Oh, that's not too bad. Actually, we can swing around this way and turn and catch it. Yeah, so I got the i7 replaced, but it runs really hot, so I have to put this big heatsink fan contraption back on it, which is just... But not only that, I have to get new hard drives and reinstall everything, which is not something that I'm really looking forward to. And considering that I'm busy doing videos and streams, it's not like I want to take one computer down while I fix another one, so... There's our runway right there. Yeah, we can at least click on the airport now. Whoops. I can see the runway, or I can see the beginning of it. We're gonna do a wild turn here. See, it's like you got this, but I can't see anything. Other than a dash. That's all I see right there. I can use this. Hey, it looks like this one's got taxiways on it. I think. Alright. Let's see how well we do at this landing here. Where the heck is the runway at? There it is. Well, the lights, anyway. General aviation, I tend to be okay when it comes to landing. It's the airliners. The airliners tend to be a whole nother thing. I did a stream recently on Flight Simulator 5 in the Caribbean. Flew from Puerto Rico to... I forget where. And did it on an airline. There was no ILS or anything that I could use, so that was an interesting landing. Yeah, we could pull up, 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 pull up.
Sierra Echo KLI Tower. Contact ground at 121.80. Good day.
121.80.
2 Sierra Echo, roger. Contact ground at 121.80.
There we go. There's a taxiway right over here. We'll stop here and tune in to ground.
KCMI ground. 172 Sierra Echo. Is clear of the runway. Request taxi to terminal. Cessna 172 Sierra Echo. KCMI ground. Taxi to parking. Cessna 2 Sierra Echo. Roger. Taxi to parking.
Whoa, we got some... Oh, okay, that's right. This gives you arrows. If there's taxiways, the ATC will give you arrows. And this is back on Flight Simulator 2000. This is before it was introduced in 2002. And Microsoft Flight Simulator 2002. I swear, like on ProPilot and this one, I saw things before Microsoft did it. So it's almost as if they saw what they were doing. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. Of course, by this time, X-Plane may have already been doing it. I don't know. was that? That thing... Is this where we're stopping? Right here? Or off to the side?
To Sierra Echo CMI ground. Contact clearance delivery at 128.75. Set to Sierra Echo, roger. Contact clearance delivery at 128.75. To Sierra Echo CMI ground. Good day.
Why am I contacting them? I don't know. Let's find out what happens if let's see, what options do I have here? Nope, I don't want request clearance, so so we'll just go ahead and shut the plane off there. Okay, so we're here and we're landed and it's safe and everything is good. So I want to thank all of you for joining me on this flight, and I hope you're enjoying this journey and this adventure. And if so, if you could go ahead and leave a like on the video, that helps me out and the channel and helps out all of you as well, because the more people that like the video, the more people out there will be able to see it in their YouTube feeds and everything. For those that love classic flight simulation, they may not even know this is out here. So likes are good, and subscriptions are good too. So if you subscribe to me on YouTube and do that whole notification bell thing, then you will get notified when new videos are uploaded to the channel, because I do that all the time. And every day is a different theme, and those themes carry over to Twitch. I do live streaming over on Twitch. A lot of times I will stream what I'm recording for an episode, so that'll give you a chance to see this stuff early, and you get to be part of the show. You get to interact with me and be a part of the show, just like AdamsAppleTechSupport. Shout out there to Adam for joining me on the stream. So yeah, hey, what are you waiting for? Go over to Twitch and follow me, and then I'll be giving you a shout out. How about that? I'd love to talk with you. And don't forget, there is social media. There is Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, all of which I try to do a little something different with. Instagram, I kind of have some behind the scenes stuff that I'm working on, and sometimes it's just some like personal pictures, like of my cats, or or maybe I've gone out to a restaurant or something. So Twitter, I try to do something different with Twitter. And Snapchat, I don't have an idea, but maybe you guys can tell me if there's something about Snapchat you'd like to see. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. Love you guys, and I will see you on the next leg of our journey. Have a killer awesome day.